Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another pre-market watch list here today. So thank you guys again for tuning in as always. Do appreciate that. Oh, today is going to be an interesting day, ladies and gentlemen. I'm sure lots of you probably have questions in regards to the market and how it all acted yesterday, and we'll do our best to kind of cover that, give you some insight on it. A lot going on, so won't be able to cover every single little detail. But we'll do our best, right? So good morning, guys. Good morning, Sam. Yo, 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 yo. All right, we'll wait a few seconds. I'm going to tune in over to the other page here. All right, so there's my watch list. All large cap stocks. And is that spelled right? Is that, hold on, did I type an I instead of an L? Maybe, let's see. Yeah, that didn't, there we go. So all large cap stocks, we'll talk about, we'll have an interesting day for you. So we're not going to do as much of like looking at stocks. We're going to do more of like talking about what's going on and what I foresee possibly happening. All right, guys. So a lot of you guys are probably familiar with inverse related ETFs, right? If you are, great. If you're not, well, I highly suggest doing a little bit of research on what's called inverse velocity ETFs for people who are traders and maybe even swing traders. So we'll get into that right now. All right, so let me go over to sharing the screen now. Okay. All right, so for one, this is a 5-minute chart of the market. What I want you guys to look at a 180-day chart. All right, this $280 level. Ready? This right there. That's a 280. I do believe is a pretty kind of key level that I think the market might bounce up to today and try and test that $280 level, because 280 was a strong resistance for a while, right? And then eventually it broke and became a pretty strong support. Well, yesterday we kind of broke through that with ease and just kind of went right through. So I think if today, I do believe we're going to see a bounce on the market, and it's going to probably pop up towards 280, maybe a little bit higher depending on how much momentum there is. But I think that 280 level is pretty key. So if like people are looking to short, that might be a level to watch for. But do note that the last time, right, if we go and look at the last time the market dropped similar to this, right, it gapped down after hours, it picked up pre-market, and then it ended up ripping, right, the day after, right? So is that going to happen again today? Maybe, right? Just looking at previous price action and previous price history, that did happen before. So is it going to happen today? Maybe. It's already showing signs of doing something similar to that. Will it continue down? Maybe, right? I'm not a foresee, I don't know everything, and I can't foresee the future. But going based on what we've seen before, it is there's a strong chance it could do that, right? So let's look at this. Ready? So I'm going to zoom in just here. So focusing on just this spot, right? So this was a big red day the market had, right? And then the next day, look at it, okay? So if I had to just, do some simple, watch this, right? So if I take do a trend line from here down, let's say from, that big day in the beginning of the year, the market dropped, right? So it dropped, let's just say it dropped 8.5% from the high of that day to the low in after hours. The following day, so it dropped 8.5%. The following day, it bounced from, after hours trading to a high of the next day, it recovered 7%, right? So it almost fully recovered that day. And then it tried to move higher, failed, and then we kind of came back down. So if, the market does follow some type of similar movement, it's not far-fetched to think that today could have a strong bounce day in the market. That's a possibility. Let me zoom back out. So again, right, we've dropped very similar. We had a few downward days that led into a big drop, and now it looks like we want to have at least a little bit of a green day possibly. a little bit of a bounce day, I think that is possible. So something I would do is, watch any, for one, keep an eye on TVIX. So TVIX is an inverse related ETF volatility index. So when the markets are going down, there tends to be an increase in volatility, which then therefore kind of channels over, and TVIX and also the ticker UVXY. These are just the common ones I follow. There's other ones out there. These naturally go up. So you could watch TVIX and UVXY for possible bullish moves if the market continues down. But if the market goes up, TVIX and UVXY are going to go down. So you could keep an eye on like QQQ, I believe. Yeah, and this one TQQ, right? So these ones are ETFs that follow the same direction as the market. So if the market bounces today, you could watch TQQ, QQQQ. You could keep those on watch for bullish moves up. Secondly, right, let's look at, we're going to go to a yearly chart now. We'll stay in 180 day. Now look at, right, you name it. Look at Netflix. Netflix down big, right? Or that's a bad one. Bad zoom in. Netflix is down big. Look at Twitter, right? Look at Boeing, right? Look at Caterpillar. Look at Square, right? Look at Apple, if it ever comes of. Oh, AAPL. Look at Apple. Look at Facebook. Look at Tesla. I don't know if it recovers, right? I don't know why it's not AMZN, right? You get the point, right, guys? You get the point. All of the big stocks, large cap stocks, are all down because of the market. So if the market has a good recovery day, you can anticipate that Netflix, Facebook, Apple, Amazon, maybe Micron, AMD, Twitter, they're all probably going to bounce today. So there's a lot of opportunity out there. So whatever stocks you're the most comfortable following, that's what I would say to trade. Whatever you're used to and most comfortable trading, that's what I would follow. Anything that's taken a beating from yesterday's move in the market is what I would follow today, along with the inverse and, inverse velocity funds and, leveraged ETFs that correlate with the stock market. I'm going to take a second just to go through a few of these comments. Let's see. I think there's going to be somewhat of a rebound on a lot of stocks today. Okay, I do say that. I do feel that. Low float market capitalization for low float stocks is usually anything below like 3 billion, right around like the 2 billion to 3 billion. That is considered small cap is anything below like 3 billion market cap. And, whether they are below a market cap of 3 billion, it doesn't necessarily mean they're going to have an extremely low float. Low floats are really anything with like a 25 million share float and under. Maybe you could argue 30 million share float and under is low float. But yeah, it has to be anywhere from like, I'd say 25 and down to be considered low float in terms of, low float. I do trade leveraged ETFs every once in a while. Yeah. Yeah, and here's another thing, guys, right? When we say the market's going to bounce, in my opinion, I don't think this is going to bounce and automatically just recover, right? Bounces are natural, but I do see that the market will bounce. It's going to go up. It's going to test some resistance, and then it's going to roll over again, right? This is a natural flow. Ready? I mean, if we look back at the market, right? So to the gentleman who said dead cat bounce, I would have to agree with you. SMQAL or AI. So like if we go back to the market, ready? What happened the last time, right? It had a dead cat bounce, right? We dropped, major bounce, and it rolled right back over to test those lows. So I do believe that's something similar we would probably see here in the marketplace, over the next couple days, right? We had a massive drop, look for a bounce up, and then a rollover and retest of these previous low points, okay? So I don't necessarily think this wave is just done. I think this could be the start of things that, tend to be much worse. But again, this was the first massive sell-off. I believe this will be the first attempt at somewhat of a recovery. Whether it does or it doesn't, that's the ultimate question. I mean, there could be multiple reasons. The debt levels increased. The 10-year bonds are going up. I mean, there's, the market also got hit with horrible news. There's been a Chinese spy was caught, and now he's going to be, charged with economic espionage for stealing trade secrets from aviation departments. That hit the news yesterday. I mean, there's multiple things that can drive a market down. I don't know every single reason behind it, but yeah, there's a lot going on. So for me, guys, like in my opinion, like when people are asking me, like, what am I playing? I'm probably not playing any penny stock today. I'm probably going to be focusing mainly on large cap stocks because that's where a lot of the volatility in the market's going to be at. I didn't see any penny stock I really liked. I know some people are talking about ACRX. So if we go over to ACRX, a lot of people are talking about this one because it did have a good day, right? That was a pretty interesting move to gap down and then recover and then continue higher. It was a pretty surprising day. If I had to say all the stocks that I was looking at in terms of like penny stocks, this might be one I would keep on watch, but I'm not even that crazy about it just because if you look at the chart, that doesn't do it. If you look at a 1 year chart, or is this the one, or was it 180 day? 1 second. Oh, that was a different stock I was looking at. Never mind. But still, if you look at this chart, it dropped and it recovered very well up to kind of previous high points. So it's kind of at a resistance. So I'm not going to be trading it. You guys can keep an eye on it. There might be some moves. I know it did receive some good news yesterday. It is consolidating pre-market. It's holding up. So if this continues to stay up around the 380 price, you could definitely see, some type of consolidation curl to a run. But I think it had such a good move yesterday. I don't see there being too much more today. But, I'm wrong, and I could be wrong again, right? Yeah, Fed's rates too. That's another thing. I mean, there's all types of things: yield, interest rates, the housing market. There's less sales there. I mean, there's a lot of different things. So just to kind of recap here, this is what I would recommend people doing. Right. So for those of you that think the market's going to continue down today, you would want to watch TVIX and UVXY. Again, if you think the market's going to go down, you'd want to watch TVIX and UVXY. If you think the market's going to go up today, you'd want to watch something like QQQ or QQQQ, 4 Qs. Is that what? Maybe it's just triple Q. Yeah, you'd want to watch like QQQ or TQQ. Q. Jeez, so many Qs. All right, those are the ones that I would say you want to watch, right? So if you think it's going to go up, stick to TQQQ. If you think it's going to go up, stick to QQQ. If you think it's going to go, if you think it's going to go down, you'd want to watch TVAX and UVXY. Yeah, basically what he just said. Mary Miller. Yeah, if you're questioning, if you're not sure where to find that news about I'm not on the market. So ready? Here, I'll show you. All right, let's go down here. Let's pull it up. Let's see. It happened right towards the end of the day. All right, here we go. Justice Department. Justice Department says Chinese intelligence officer, can't pronounce his name, charged with economic espionage involving theft of trade secrets from leading U.S. aviation, is accused of targeting a number of aerospace firms, including GE Aviation. That was released yesterday, right about the end of the day, in terms of economic news. That's a reason, okay? That could be a portion of the market selling off towards the end of the day yesterday. So there's multiple reasons. But yeah, if you're not aware, that's how you pick up the news channel there, Mary, on TOS. If you're using Thinkorswim. All right, so a lot going on, guys. So what I would do today is I would follow the ETFs and I would follow your large cap stocks. I'm not going to be focusing really on any penny stocks, but in, personal experience, I think your best approach today would be focusing, on some large cap stocks for trading. I know some of you don't trade large caps and you may not be, in the, right area to trade large caps, but that's where I see a lot of the volatility and movement taking place today. Thinkorswim is free. I don't know. Tesla 3, that's just all the news I got there. Oh, the market sold off solely based on Powell comments. All right, good to know. Appreciate it. So again, a lot going on. Best advice I could give is follow your ETFs, large caps, and many other things. Okay, large caps, ETFs. That's really where I would say to be at today. So, does anybody have any other questions beforehand? I got about a couple more minutes here, so we can take the time to just kind of answer some brief questions, anything like that. The software that I use for drawing on my charts is that like yellow lines you guys see. Those are going to be, it's from a streaming software. It's not, you could download it. It's called Zoom. So you'd basically be downloading like a recording and a streaming software so that you could use that if you needed to. My ETF watch list, I just shared it with you. It's UVXY, TVIX, and QQQ, and TQQQ. Thoughts on Square? What's your favorite? What's my favorite reversal pattern? Reversal, a massive sell-off. It's not really a pattern. It's a play where the stock sells off really, really big and into a level of support. How do I feel about the ones I picked yesterday? So what was that? NIO. So what was yesterday? NIO, Tesla for a possible long. Was it Netflix on there? Yeah, none of them worked out well. It just is what it is. Some days it's like that. I've had days where all the ones I pick go as planned, and then I've had days where the ones I pick don't do anything, and I'm not going to beat myself up about it or pride myself on, oh, well, things happen. Things do happen, and I was wrong. Plain and simple, I was wrong. Big time analysts are always wrong. So, I'm not going to beat myself up, and it is what it is. No, currently no discount on our group as of right now. For those of you guys in on our premium service right now on Zoom, I'm going to mute the mic and just kind of finish up here on YouTube, and then I'll be back on here in just a couple more minutes, guys. I do think in the near-term future we'll see a bearish market. I do. Yep, that would be $30 a month. About five years trading stocks wise. Yeah, we do teach Thinkorswim. There's some things in there that we haven't taught about it, but in terms of like our private group, I always use Thinkorswim. So if there's something you have a question about, I always show you how to do it. In terms of knowing, if I know it, I'll show it to you. Yeah. So we do go over a lot about Thinkorswim. So potential swing trades, basically anything right now. I know that sounds kind of stupid, but really, after the sell-off, if there's a recovery bounce, dead cat bounce in the market, everything is on sale. Everything is on sale from where they were 2 weeks ago in the market right now. Everything is on sale. So whatever you like in terms of what stocks and something you follow, I can guarantee. Look at Square, right? Let's look at Square right now. SQ. All right, let's look at a 180-day chart. That's on sale. There'll probably be a bounce on that, right? Look at AAPL. Look at Apple. right? Apple just had a pretty good sell-off. That'll probably recover a little bit. That, you know, let's look at Boeing, $300 stock, 367 actually. I mean, that just dropped a bunch. Like, that's on sale. That's probably a good bounce spot, right? So you pick it. I mean, they're out there right now. You know, that's what happens. Volatility and fast movement creates opportunity. It's the slow grinding, steady doing nothing that doesn't really create you opportunity. You need something to take place to create new opportunity, and that's what happened yesterday in the market. Sash, yeah, we trade naturally. We stay live and trade in our premium service till about 10:30, 11. Just depends on how the day's going. But we only trade live for the first couple hours. Then after that, we do hop off. I think the first time I started trading, I only had like a couple $100. At that point, it was really just me getting into it, just kind of trading, winning some money, losing some money, just starting small, just seeing what it felt like to even trade. And then of course I saved up money, got better, made money, lost more money, lost more money, figured out what I was doing wrong, stopped doing that, stopped making the rookie mistakes, which I still make some rookie mistakes here and there. It's just natural, it happens. And it's just here's the thing, right? You know, even as an experienced trader, I still make stupid mistakes all the time. You know, sometimes I'll get an entry, I'm like, wow, that was really dumb. Why'd you do that? And then you go, well, that was dumb. Oh, that was stupid. And then it just doesn't take you very long to realize it was a dumb mistake, right? Eventually you get experience to a point where you'll still make the stupid mistakes, but you're able to realize it's a stupid mistake almost instantly. And then you're just like, whoa, why'd I do that? And you either get out of the trade, or you'll get out and you won't even risk it, or, you know, even if it, you know, goes worst case scenario in that situation, you know what mistake you made almost instantaneously, and there's really no questioning it. You know, you don't question whether or not you're a bad trader at that point. You know you're a good trader. You just made a silly mistake, and it's going to happen again. But being able to learn from it and understand it, and, you know, so that you don't make it again, but if you do make it again, you're able to understand that you're making it and then get out right away. So it's going to happen. You know, I do it all the time. So before I get offline here, yeah, emotional drive is your biggest challenge and biggest battle in trading. So 3 rookie mistakes are going to be revenge trading, playing the hopeful game, which is, oh, it's going to come back, it's going to come back, it's going to come back. Like, no, it's not going to come back. It might, but that's another thing. There's a time to be, okay, it's going to come back. And then there's a time to say, no, it's not going to come back. And as you get better at trading, you'll know when you're in a loss, right? And you know that the stock will actually bounce back, right? You'll get good at determining when it's going to bounce back and when it's not, right? And that happened to me the other day, and I did it live in our group with our traders. Is I was trading and I bought a bounce spot, and then it broke and it kept going. I'm like, wow. I'm like, okay. It was a big sell-off. I'm like, it's going to bounce back. I know for a fact it will bounce back. So what I ended up doing is I doubled down while it was dropping, and it continued dropping. And then I was down like $4,700 on the trade. And everyone's like, oh my gosh, I can't believe you didn't get out. You didn't get out. I'm like, just be patient, right? I'm not going to panic. That's another thing people do, is they panic. Just like in the stock market, when there's a sell-off, people panic, okay? You need to stay in control. So again, I was down like $4,700. I doubled down. We're down, down, down. I'm like, okay, guys, look at. Still, I timed it wrong. I didn't catch it at the right moment, so my entry was off, okay? I made the mistake of the wrong entry. But I'll lose a bunch of money if I do what most people will do and I sell into this panic drop. I will lose for a fact. But what I can do is I can wait until we have the recovery bounce, which will happen. Now, I'm not going to say that this recovery bounce will make me green on the trade, but this recovery bounce will give me the opportunity to not sell into the panic and wait for it to bounce and get out with a smaller loss. And that's exactly what I did. I held through the pain, and once we bounced, I went from down 4,700 to only losing like 850. So there's times when you know that you made a mistake and it will recover, and then there's times where you just have to go, okay, this isn't going to recover. But after trading for a while, you'll learn those kind of steps. So with that being said, guys, I do got to get off. I got to get back to the private group. So again, if you guys do want to enter into our private service and private group and course and all the other cool stuff, it's the first link in the description below. So just go to where it says show more, click that first link, and then you can join us. Other than that, I'll see you guys all tomorrow for another video, and hopefully have a green day.